Hi, I'm Kendra.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Lindsay.
And this is Our Music Oddcast. And today we're going to be talking about the random rumors about Tom DeLong and aliens and was he abducted and all the random shit that you hear. And for those of you that don't know, he was part of Blink-182 and now he's in Angels and Airwaves. So take it away, Olivia.
Okay. Tom DeLong Jr. was born and grew up in Pompey, California. I think that's right. Yeah, it might not be right.
It's fine.
His father was an oil company executive and his mother was a mortgage broker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like they were pretty well off.
Yeah, he could be. Especially, the oil executive job.
Yeah, that sounded...
He had two siblings, a brother and a sister, and he started playing the trumpet at age 11 and learned to play the guitar from a friend at church camp.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess a couple of friends gave him a guitar for Christmas, which I thought was kind of a cute story.
That is cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. Like 11-year-olds giving each other guitars.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I'm friends with those kids.
I know,
That's
right?
awesome.
So in middle school, he started listening to Stiff Little Fingers, Dinosaur Jr., and The Descendants.
Good choices.
Yeah. And he started his first band called Big Oily Men. And started as one piece. And then he would start playing with other musicians and coordinate times to practice with them. He was also really into skateboarding, and he spent a lot of time skating and pranking friends.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
That's like
kind of what you'd expect.
As I say, that sounds like my teen years too.
Oh.
Like skateboarding, practical jokes.
I didn't skateboard, but I worked at a skate shop.
I literally just moved into a house where in what is now the smallest bedroom, it used to be the kitchen, and I watched my friend Vulture drink a 40 a piss.
What?
Yeah, because we put a joke on him. Oh and then he ran to the kitchen, ran to the sink and spit it out. Everyone was like, that was piss. But yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
It was a really good moment. But every time I look at that room, I'm like, oh my God, that's where you drink the piss. It's so good.
Such rich history.
I know. It's like I've been there for a week and I've thought about it every single day.
This is a historical home, but let me tell you.
I know. So many epic moments here.
I remember seeing a friend drink dip spit once, which was pretty funny.
Ugh.
But that's sad because that makes you really sick if you accidentally do that.
That sounds so gross.
The Sandlot where they eat the chewing tobacco and then they go on the ride and throw up everywhere.
Which is pretty accurate. I actually had an experience just like that.
Really?
Yeah, I went. A friend made me try it. I didn't want to, and they were like, "No, it's not even as bad as a cigarette." So I tried it for a little bit and then got sick. And I was laying on the ground at this outside thing at a barn, and I would just rotate a little bit. So I was vomiting in a circle, and then I just moved. It was so
You're
weird.
Just laying in the middle of a circle of vomit.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of epic. Standing above, it probably looked fascinating.
It was funny too because the thing that convinced me to do it, one of our friends had a cool older sister, and he was like, "Yeah, Melody does that. She dips every once in a while." So I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll try it." That was a good reason to try it.
It's weird. That was never a peer pressure thing for me. I never knew anybody that had dipped.
I just had a few friends that did it.
Yeah,
it was so gross.
I just really gross.
Yeah, I can't believe I did it because I wouldn't even smoke cigarettes. So
yeah,
very stupid. Okay. He was an average student and was known as a goofball and a prankster at the school. And I thought this part was really funny, but I was watching this documentary about the band, and I guess he had a nemesis, which was the security guard at the school, and would go out of his way to prank her. And she loved him. She thought it was really funny, but also was really irritated by him. But they...
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, when he's in Blink-182, he eventually writes a song about her called Sally's Pet, which I thought was really funny.
That's really funny.
Mm-hmm. So his parents divorced when he was 18, had a really tumultuous relationship for years and constantly fought. He moved out and his brother joined the army and left just him and his mom and his sister at home. He thought about becoming a firefighter for a while and even participated in the San Diego Cadet Program and worked in construction. I kind of skipped forward a little bit because that was after high school. But and he was even actually kicked out of high school at one point for drinking at some sites said that it was a football game. Some said it was a basketball game.
Did you guys ever do that?
Oh, I never went to any of the games.
Yeah, I never went to any games.
Or just drink at school?
No.
No.
That would be hell to me, being drunk at school. I don't know.
It's the only time I ever asked questions in math. I did it once because I found I was like, oh yeah,
We're talkative little word.
I was I had this water bottle full of vodka, and I was like, I couldn't get drunk or anything, because that would be stupid. But I was also really quiet, and so nobody suspected because I didn't really have any friends at my school. All my friends went to other schools, so
I think
it's
I
pretty funny.
smoked a cigarette in the bathroom one time, but that was that, which is really, really stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't really remember doing
bringing
anything
alcohol to
else.
school is really stupid too. It's it's not fun. This is not a good idea. I don't know. I was in the morning. It was just dumb. I felt really cool though.
No, I lit my cigarette and I was like, okay, no, I can't do this.
Right.
So, it was just for a second. But
So he got busted.
Yeah, and then he eventually became friends with Mark Hoppus' sister, Anne, and he had signed up for a Battle of the Bands and was just playing, one of his own original songs. But he met Scott Rayner at the show, who was playing with a different band, and then he eventually introduced him to Mark Hoppus. So they started playing together as Blink in 1992, and they had to change their names eventually, or the name eventually, because there were threats of a lawsuit from this Irish band called Blink as well. And the 182, it says everything that I could find online said it was how many times they say fucking Scarface, but I don't know if that's actually true.
that's what I've always heard too, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We need a number. How about them?
It kind of works though. I never really questioned it.
Yeah, were they just watching Scarface one night and they're like, hey, let's just start counting? Or
I know, that's what I kind of wondered too.
Decide to use
'Cause that was-
movie and that.
Where you couldn't just look that up on the internet.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
What did we do before the internet? No, just kidding.
So much, because you were bored, so you
so
actually
much.
do things.
Productive.
Yeah.
Everybody actually hung out
Anyways,
all the
Way
time.
more social.
Way more social.
So they became part of the Southern California punk scene, and they had these really high energy shows where they'd play, or they'd tell dirty jokes, and they'd have a lot of wet t-shirt and wet pants contests at the shows. So around that time, they just mostly practiced, went to shows, and then played pranks on each other. Their first album, Cheshire Cat, was released in 1995, and there was a bit of a bidding war between Interscope, MCA, and Epitaph. And then they did go with MCA, it was actually Cargo Music, which was part of MCA. But they released Dude Ranch and that was in 2006 that they eventually signed with them. But Dude Ranch was released in 1997, sold over 1 million copies, and their song "Damn It" was huge. I think that wasn't that in American Pie?
I don't think that was an American Pie. I think it was
in some movie.
It was, yeah.
It might have been Can't Hardly Wait.
It might have been.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because I think it was before American Pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what year that came out.
But
I think that was 99.
okay.
So.
that's that song that everybody tried to be so punk rock.
Oh.
And I don't listen to Blink-182. I'm
but
way
they secretly
too
liked
punk
it.
for that. But everybody knew every single word to that song.
Yeah.
You would just start saying the words, and somebody would be sing along and be fuck, called you out, poser. Yeah. It's funny. But why would you know the words then if you were calling somebody else a poser? I don't know. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hate for that band, but everybody secretly loved them.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought it was kind of cool before they were, big. They were, trying to get shows, places. So Tom would call around and try to play everywhere. And they even played at a bunch of schools during lunch. And he would say that they had motivational music and different things.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, such a good idea though, because then they, would probably go buy the albums afterwards.
So it's
That's really
you
funny.
Prank people at school, and then you grow up and prank people at school.
Yeah. After Dude Ranch was released, they went on Warped Tour. And Scott Rayner, was actually fired from the band in 98 and replaced by the Aquabats drummer Travis Barker. And they started working with producer Jerry Finn on their next album, which was Enema of the State, released in 1999.
I just saw them play that album in its entirety at Riot Fest this year.
Oh,
I was going to say, weren't they headlining?
It was. I have no shame.
But no Tom.
Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, he wasn't. But
Yeah.
they played that whole album, and it made me really happy.
So do they still do a lot of the silly jokes and pranks while they're playing?
I mean,
The dumb jokes.
not that I saw.
Okay. You just wondered if they grew out of it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was pretty far back. So
Yeah. So they had a bunch of videos that were big off that album, which helped, with the
one where they were
success.
running naked through the streets and like.
Was that All the Small Things?
No, that was
Which one
What's
was
My
it?
Age Again.
Yep.
Okay.
No, All the Small Things was the one where they did like they were like making fun of the
boy
boy band
dance,
videos. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of stuff about how it was like on the heavy rotation with like the videos that they were actually making fun of, which
Oh,
I thought was
absolutely.
funny. So, and actually, because we're going to talk about his alien obsession, that he wrote a song called "Aliens Exist" that was on that album.
They threw out a bunch of alien blow up dolls when they played that song. It made me really happy.
They sold 15 million copies, and that really catapulted them to success. Tom got married to Jennifer Jenkins in 2001. He'd been dating her since 1996. And okay, yeah, so they had the 3 big singles off that, which was Rock Show, First Date, Stay Together for the Kids.
That wasn't Enema of the State, though.
You're right.
That was the next
Take
album.
Off Your
That's the
Pants
next
and
one. Take off your
Jacket.
pants and jacket. Yeah. Okay.
I had that one too.
I missed that line on my note. And then so they started working on their next album, which was actually called Blink-182. And there was a bunch of conflicts within the band. He also kind of started Boxcar Racer around this time too.
Been kind of serious.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit more of the emo thing.
Yeah.
It
I was
was.
like, I don't know. I don't think this is working for you.
And I guess Mark Hoppus and Tom would only speak through their manager around this time.
Wow.
Which that shows it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah. So they were touring a lot around this time, and Tom wanted to spend more time with his family, and I think it was something ridiculous. Like he asked for 6 months off of touring, and it didn't go over well with the other band members, so he ended up kind of taking an indefinite hiatus around that time, or the band did, because he didn't want to do it, and he wanted to work on other projects. Around that time too, in 2003, MCA was absorbed by Geffen Records. He kind of had a little bit of a nervous breakdown after the breakup. He said it was a really traumatic experience, like a divorce, and he toured with John Kerry for a while during his 2004 campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then he started, writing and producing the work Angels and Airwaves in 2005. And he was on pain medication because he had a back injury, actually had a herniated disc, and started making some really bizarre claims around that time about how you could walk on water if you believed that you could do it, power of the mind. And then that the Angels and Airwaves music would be like the best music in generations. And and he said that he would be embarrassed to be
grandeur.
Travis Barker or Mark Hoppus when they put out their album.
That's
So
funny
he was
because
so
I
successful.
still I never really heard of that band.
I know. I remember kind of hearing some of their stuff.
I think they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, they are.
Wait, what band was it?
Angels and
and
Airwaves.
Oh, Angels and Airwaves was their band.
I
don't think I've
Boxcar
ever-
Racer.
No.
And it was funny because their description of like what the music should sound like was like sort of like Violent Femmes, and I don't get that at all.
Wait, for who?
Boxcar Racer. Yeah,
I don't get that at all either.
Isn't it just like a more emo Blink-182?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's a little bit different, but
Probably if I listen to it again,
Violent
it's
Femmes is like one of my favorite bands. Like they don't sound anything like them. But then again, like I get that because it's like I started a post-punk band and I was like, I want to sound like Husker Du. And we didn't sound anything fucking like Husker Du, but that was what got everybody in the door to like jam and try to do something,
Yeah. Found a bunch of different dates for this, but I guess Travis Barker was in a pretty serious plane crash in 2005 with DJ AM, Adam Goldstein, and they were the only survivors.
Richie at the time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he died. Adam Goldstein.
Yeah,
died,
a
and
couple
then-
years after that.
Oh, I thought he died in the plane crash.
No, he survived the plane crash and died.
You're right.
Yeah, a couple of years later. But I think like they were both pretty messed up afterwards.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. Their friend and producer Jerry Finn also died in 2008. So the band, after Travis had his accident and Jerry Finn, they decided to announce their reunion at the 2009 Grammys and talk about how they were going to release an album. And after that, they toured with Weezer and Fall Out Boy. Their album in 2009 was called Neighbors, and it was released on Interscope Records. They produced it themselves, but that actually really delayed the album.
Wait, is this Blink-182?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I literally didn't know any of this. Like
Okay.
I completely had no idea that there was like another album. That's
Yeah.
really funny. Apparently I live under a rock.
No, I didn't know that they...
Resistance, like cuts off for me at like 2002.
Same
Like,
here. I didn't know
Yeah.
about any of this.
That's so
I knew
funny.
about the plane crash that Travis Barker was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in the
Never seen that in the
tabloids at
news.
work, but you
Yeah.
know, like literally none of this other stuff. I had no idea. That's so funny.
Plus, I'm kind of jumping around between bands a little
That's
bit.
That's okay.
Remember the transplants?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I also didn't.
He had that song in the Garnier commercial.
I didn't really say, but in Boxcar Racer, which I think is important to say, Travis Barker played drums, and then David Kennedy from the band Hazen Street also played guitar. And they released an album in 2002 on MCA, and that was when DeLonge started getting addicted to pain meds because of his chronic back pain. And that was when he was saying kind of crazy stuff. And then Angels and Airwaves, there's a ton of people that have been in this band. So David Kennedy was also in it, and then Ian Rubin, Adam Willard, Ryan Sin, who was from the Distillers, Matt Wachter, Eddie Breckenridge. And they formed in 2005. So, okay, back to their album Neighbors that they produced themselves. It took them till 2000. Well, okay, so they started recording it in 2009, but they didn't release it until 2011. And just because they, they were doing this for the first time, they didn't really know exactly what to do. And then Tom DeLong said that it was the diarrhea of bureaucracy that caused the delay. So the band left Interscope in 2012 and planned to start working on an album in 2015. And then DeLong delayed and then finally left the project because part of the contract said that he couldn't work on any side projects during like the time that they were recording, touring.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
didn't want to do that because he had a bunch of other stuff going on. Yeah, he wanted to release 4 albums in 2015 alone, 2 for Angels and Airwaves and then 2 solo albums. That didn't happen, but he did release his first solo album in 2015. It had 8 songs. It was Blink-182 demos and then, just some more stuff. It was called To the Stars Demos, Odds and Ends. I started writing down some of his non-musical endeavors. He started a holding group called Really Likeable People in 1998, a clothing label also in 2008 called Youth Branded Apparel, Atticus Clothing, which I knew I had heard about that in
yeah.
2001 with Mark Hoppus and friend Dylan Anderson. They sold the company in 2005.
Everybody had those shirts too.
I do remember seeing a lot of that.
Everybody had those shirts.
Do they sell it at Hot Topic?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Macbeth Footwear, which was rock and roll inspired shoes. I don't think I ever heard of that or saw anything. A tech company, Mod Life in 2007. They handle websites and fan clubs of artists, including White Stripes, Pearl Jam, and Kanye West. He launched Strange Times website in 2011, which was dedicated to research of extraterrestrial life, paranormal activity, and cryptozoology. And all business except Atticus Clothing was under the RLP, Real Likeable People moniker, his holding company that he started. He directed a few videos, one for Taking Back Sundays. The photograph is Proof in 2004. 2014, he released a short film called Poet Anderson, The Dream Walker, which we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. It included music by Angels and Airwaves. And then, we're going to start talking about his writing. He released a book called The Lonely Astronaut in 2013. And then 2014 graphic novel, Strange Times, The Curse of Superstition Mountain. And he did a 3-issue comic series, Poet Anderson, The Dreamwalker, after winning awards for a short film. So the novel was called Poet Anderson of Nightmares. And then they put an audiobook out and the EP with Angels and Airwaves music. And then a sequel in 2018 called Poet Anderson in Darkness. A book called Secret Machines, Chasing Shadows was released in 2016. And then the follow-up book, Strange Times, The Ghost and the Girl, was 2016. It had the same characters as the graphic novel. And To the Stars Academy.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I won't even say anything about that. But, I won't say anything about this one either. Then 2019, he also got a divorce from his wife. So that's sad. They have
is
2
sad.
kids.
They made it for quite a while.
1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I know. Okay, so I'll let you
All right.
take
Okay,
over.
so
us
here's the
about some
deal.
alien shit.
So it's funny because how this was presented to me was like, yeah, Tom DeLong was like abducted by aliens. False. But
Maybe.
no, he doesn't claim it. I haven't read anything that says that he thinks that he was abducted.
There's the lost time, though. which I'll let you talk
Well,
about.
yeah, you can talk about it too, but basically, like, just to get this rolling.
Yeah.
So I was looking into it, and they're like, oh, there's all this video proof now. So basically, Tom DeLong started To the Stars Academy with people from different government branches. Like, he has legitimate people, like retired military, like Pentagon workers, people that have legit information. And like one of the quotes that he was saying, like, and I'm going to fudge this because I'm not making a direct quote, so don't be mad, internet, whatever. He was basically saying, like, yeah, we've always been waiting for like the government because we just figured that they were the ones that were like looking into UFOs, looking into alien existence and all that stuff. But I feel like everybody was waiting for somebody else to do it. So we just decided to do it. And like the response has been insane.
Yeah.
The government isn't trying to deny what they're putting out there, which is what's so funny. Like they've had several articles published in New York Times, like breaking news.
Yeah.
And like also releasing footage. And they had the one video that they released of the aircraft and like and the UFO.
Fox Mulder would be pleased.
Yeah. And it's just like so ridiculous though, because the dude from the New York Times like had to verify the video. So it's not the one that they released. They got a copy from the freaking Pentagon.
Yeah.
Because they had the seal of that on it. So, like, the Pentagon released that freaking video to the news after, like, it had already been broke. And they're like, yeah, no, like, that's real.
So this wasn't a video that he had captured of the
No.
UFO. It was just
no, like, they
something that
leaked,
they looked
like,
into and then
like, they, like, put it out there.
Right.
And then, like, the Pentagon went as far as basically to verify it. And they're like, yeah, no, like, that's real. So, I think that it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they're doing. Because it sounds like they have a lot of people with legitimate know-how and stuff like that working with them. They've also launched TV shows on like the History Channel, I want to
Yeah.
say. What's that one
Was
called?
the Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation.
Yeah. And so like that's legit. And then
Yeah.
like there's just so many other projects that are kind of all wrapped up into this To the Stars Academy, which I think is like really interesting. So what did you guys learn?
I just barely looked into this because I wanted to be surprised when you were telling me about it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is too. But
I don't know if this is part of it or not. So after he started the Stars Academy in 2015, which is the study of UFOs and extraterrestrial life, he did release a book under the To the Stars Inc. called Who Knows Who Took My Clothes. So I don't know if that has anything to do with that. But I did hear that he spent, or I did read, that he spent some time outside of Area 51 camping and lost time, so doesn't know really what happened there, but can't explain the lost time.
Right.
That was interesting.
I think that's interesting too. And like I think the thing that's kind of funny is in the interviews and stuff like that I've been reading when he's coming forward with this information and stuff like that, like he doesn't talk about that.
Yeah.
He's just no. Because he's officially struck deals with the U.S. Army for like research and stuff like that. I mean, and he has all the money.
Yeah.
So he's just bankrolling this project because he's like, this is what I'm fascinated by. This is what I want to do. And so everybody's like been saying for so many years, like, this guy's crazy, this guy's crazy, this guy's crazy. And now he's like, science, bitch. Like,
I know. I was like just super surprised to learn that he had so many like legitimate people on his side. I'm like, how'd they even get involved with that? Like, oh yeah,
I did find that actually, timeout, because I do have.
He bought a piece of like unidentified metal to have tested.
Okay, so I did find DeLonge said that, like, this is a quote. He said, when asked if he saw a UFO, he said, I saw some really anomalous stuff one night out in the desert, zipping across the stars, horizon to horizon, zigzagging. That really blew my mind because no satellites move that way, but I can't tell you what it was. I think, like most people, the stuff that I've seen is a lot of stuff on the internet where I bet some of it's really true, but you really don't know which pieces are. So
yeah, I guess he paid $35,000 for a piece of metal that hadn't been identified yet. They said it was from a UFO.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that it was. They say that it was just normal metal. It ended up being pieces of bismuth, magnesium, zinc, and a piece of aluminum. Which, I mean, you take that chance when you buy that stuff.
Yeah.
It could have been something. It could have ended up being something really cool.
So Tom DeLong basically put out there that like he did use celebrity to get some doors open.
Yeah.
And that's how he met people, but it took years of meetings for it to move forward. And so like they obviously like found out that he was 100% serious and willing to like do that stuff like that, and he earned a lot of trust in meetings, and that's how this has all kind of come together. And so he's been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a passion of his for a while since he was pretty young.
I was reading this interview where he was like, they did like an introduction where they were like, yeah, we wanted him to talk about Blink-182, but he's like, okay, but only if I can talk about aliens most of the time. They're like, all right, fine.
One of his partners is Mr. Elizondo. Yeah, Luis Elizondo, I think. I'm not positive.
Okay.
But he was career intelligence officer with the Army, the Department of Defense, National Counterintelligence Executive, and the Office of Director of National Intelligence.
Okay.
So that's a lot of legitimate titles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's no longer working there, obviously, but he has all that experience, know-how, and like those connections and stuff like that. So they have been like really transparent with making deals with different branches of defense and stuff like that, because they do have the tools that they would be needing to see that stuff. And like you can't really like go off probing into space without like letting the people that are watching that you don't want to like piss anyone off and like accidentally like get blown up or something. No, we're not launching a nuke, like we're definitely just launching a probe satellite. You have to let somebody know, right? I would assume.
Probably.
There's got to be some kind of clearance that you have to pass.
Do you know what year they put out the footage?
I feel like that was last year in 2018.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Or it was either 2017 or 2018. And that was like very shortly after. They've just been churning it out. They've got all kinds of deals. They have, I like that they're like going about it the right way too, like where they're like talking with reporters and like doing legitimate interviews, or like being like, hey, here's the story. You have to do your research too. And like put out however you want. That's pretty dope.
Would you guys ever want to go into space?
No.
If you had the chance? Me either.
Never.
That sounds horrifying.
Same here. I'd have a heart attack on, the launch trying to get there in the first place.
God, yeah.
So I hate flying.
I don't know if I would be mentally capable of not losing my shit out there. But I do think that I would love it.
See, it just doesn't interest me at all. Like, not even.
It interests me like in like a this is horrifying kind of.
I'm like the person that's like so obsessed with it that
I figured you would probably want.
Yeah, I mean, I was like literally raised on sci-fi, so I don't know. Like, I remember like watching like Interstellar. And like any movie with outer space I go watch in the theater, but like I remember like watching that and just crying because it was so beautiful, and they did such a good job showing like what all of that looked like. And I don't know, it's just really cool. I get a little emotional about outer space, and like any art magazine or article, like I always buy like Scientific American and stuff like that, like whenever there's stuff about like black holes, because I'm fucking obsessed with those. It's fascinating. And like when it was like the best birthday of my life was this year, 2019, when they put out the actual like photo of a black hole that took so much stuff. I was like, this is like literally the best thing that could possibly have ever happened on a birthday. Like fucking proof of a black hole on my birthday.
So where did
it was like Hawking, literally the best thing that's ever happened
on his? Because I know he kind of went back and forth on black holes for a while. Like before he died, do you know where he stood?
I don't.
Okay, I don't either.
I don't. I mean, I should. I'm like one of those people that I like to figure out. I can get the general concepts of things, but I'm not the person that remembers any details. I have a terrible memory.
Well, then since he did go back and forth a few times, it was kind of hard to.
He kind of changed his mind a lot.
Like, reading it pretty regularly.
All right, so you don't want to go to space. I don't want to go because it's horrifying. You can't go because you'll be too emotional.
Well, also like I just like mental health. Like I don't have good mental health, so I would probably like get really weird up there. You can't go home because you're like literally millions of miles away. It's crazy.
For long periods of time too. That's what would get me.
Like I kind of get anxiety when I go on like vacations and stuff.
Like if I could do like a little jaunt in space 2-3 weeks, fuck yeah, I'd go 100%, even a month, totally. But like one of those voyages like where you have to like be put to sleep and like it's like 100 years. No. Maybe.
Think about even spending like 6 months up in space. That just sounds like
it changes like your body and all kinds of stuff. It's fascinating.
Oh, funny. I just got a mini trampoline, or a rebounder, as some people call it, recently. And part of the reason I got it is because I was reading about how after astronauts come back, after they've been in space for a while, it's like the quickest way to build your like strength and muscle back up.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So they're big on the rebounders or mini trampolines too.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I think.
I think it'd be really fun to have a trampoline in space.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would really work because there's no gravity.
Yeah. They do some sorts of exercising, but I don't know specifics because I've seen like some of the machines that they use, but I don't remember enough to talk about it. But that has to be difficult.
Yeah, like I'm obsessed with The Expanse. And so like the Belters, like their bodies are all messed up because they were born with 0G. So it's like interesting. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
I could talk about nerdy stuff all day. But like as far as like the aliens and stuff like that, do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It just seems weird that there wouldn't be anything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it just doesn't make
No,
sense.
and most of the things that we talk about on here, I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
like,
But
no
aliens,
way.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that like we're the only
Yeah.
planet with intelligent life. Like there's absolutely no way that's real. There
I think
has to be
we'll
something out there.
discover it in my lifetime? Probably not, but maybe.
It'd be interesting though. Like I'm really just hoping that there's like a Men in Black situation where it's like, are they just keeping it from us?
Yeah.
Like, I love that movie. It's so fun.
Are the aliens lizard people? Are there lizard people?
Well, lizard people are aliens.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reptilians. They're
Is Tom DeLong one?
is Tom DeLong a reptilian overlord?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so either because he's trying to find out what's out there. So
Yeah.
He wouldn't be trying to bust himself.
I don't know. Like I hope. Like good luck, Tom DeLong. Like
I know.
I'm like pretty pumped because it's like I've never. Like I don't hate Blink-182. I don't like
Either.
love them either.
Same.
I mean, it was really fun to watch it because it's super nostalgic, but I don't really
It's one
care.
of those things where at the time you're kind of like Blink-182, whatever, and then you're like, you know what? Kind of miss them sometimes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I have no qualms with them,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah, and I mean
but like, what a way to go from like being the dude that's got your dick out and like running
Right.
around, like and like just being
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the typical like the band that inspired frats for like 10
Oh my
years,
God,
like
seriously.
a generation of frat boys like idolized this band. Like to go from that to being like legitimately like working with other professionals and like trying to find out what's out there, like that's pretty tight.
I
Yeah.
mean, and you know, I can't be in this band anymore because I need to focus more on studying aliens. Like,
Yeah.
that's legit.
That is legit. It's like
I mean,
absolutely.
it's definitely cooler than what a lot of people.
He's
left
still
bands
like,
have done.
well, he's still doing like Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Like, but like he is like bankrolling like one of the largest attempts of like a private group researching into alien life, and
Yeah.
the fact that they're going public with everything is pretty. Like, I think that's what's important. Yeah, good job, Tom DeLong. Like, that's interesting.
Good for you.
Good for you, dude.
Keep exposing things.
Not your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep that to yourself.
Keep those government truths coming.
Fuck yeah. But not your dick.
I know. Wait, that was kind of the wrong thing.
It was just wide open. I had to. All right. We kind of take a while between putting these out, but it's okay. So
Are you guys watching or listening to anything new these days?
I've been
Or just interesting? Doesn't have to be new.
I've been like on this kick of listening to this band that I would have judged the shit out of myself for listening to like even like 5 years ago.
The Bloodhound Gang.
No, actually like okay, I've been listening to that a lot too. Still.
I know you.
I love it. I don't care. It's like, yeah, this band called McCafferty. I don't know. It's like kind of poppy emo stuff. And I've made fun of that for like literally like 15 or 16 years. And now I'm just like, God damn it. It's so good.
You know,
Yeah.
We're at the point in our life now where like,
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think you either like things or you don't.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I've been listening to, I don't know what year she put it out, but I've kind of been on a Karen Elson kick. So I've been listening a lot to her second album that was put out on Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son's record label. Which I think
Nice.
is a really good one. It took me a while to get into that one as much because I liked her first album, instantly. And then this one is one of those, like, the more you listen to it, you realize, like, how good it is. So been listening to that, and then other than that, just kind of listening to the same podcast. I did find one that Rami Malek, I think I might have talked about it last time. Yeah, but
yeah, you did.
yeah, so I won't mention it again. But
What have I been listening to lately? I've been listening to Angel Olsen's new album, Lock, 'cause I'm going to see her on Friday.
That's exciting.
And just like random post-punk playlists that people make on Spotify, and I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I started doing this thing, which has been really fun, and I have been listening to a lot of new music because of it. I have two of my closest friends moved away 6 and 4 years ago, and I now have collaborative playlists with them on Spotify.
Oh, that's fun.
Because we all suck at keeping up with each other. I'll like FaceTime them like once a year. I'm like terrible at it, but I love them, so it's fine. But it's been kind of a really fun way to like we don't have to text or like talk, but these are both people that I would always like share new music with, and like we have similar tastes. So it's been pretty fun seeing what
really cool.
seeing what Jason puts on there from Seattle and what Casey puts on from California, and it's just fun. I love it.
I have one with one of my friends that lives in Chicago, that a friend since middle school who moved then and somehow stayed in touch with. I'm really bad about contributing to it though.
Yeah, I don't know, try like once a week or every other week or so. Like it's fun.
Yeah, I just like the idea.
Yeah, it's just kind of a cool way to keep up. So I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, ladies.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap.
You mean go to bed?
I should probably just go to bed. Yeah. I'm a little hungover. YOLO. Okay. Goodbye, people. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.